dying alone in New York City is probably one of my biggest fears. Our whole cultural, our attitude towards dying is just very distant from our everyday experience. I'll leave the floor and walk down the street with the intention, and I'll set the intention to walk to the subway for patient so-and-so who can't walk anymore and never will walk. It's like I end up living for the people who aren't living. This one woman, I had passed by her room and she was clearly unresponsive. It was about 3:27 p.m. in the afternoon. And I sat down and I looked at the clock and I looked at her and I just kind of watching her, and then I pretty soon watched that her breathing was getting slower. I sort of found myself leaning forward on the edge of my seat because the space between the breaths got so long. I was like, wow, she's going right now. She is going, like, it was just like all of a sudden I was like, oh, she's not hanging out. She is going right now, she's going. And I looked at the clock and it was 3:33, and then all of a sudden she kind of leaned back and she just didn't take another breath. And I kind of was like still holding this like breath for her. And just as I'm sitting there, I hear this woman, one of the coordinators, sort of sticks her head in the room and says, Mrs. So-and-so, would you like a song? And I looked at her, I was like, oh, I don't think she wants, I don't think she wants a song right now. And she just, oh, and I said, no, I think she's gone. She goes, oh no, she's gonna love it. She's gonna love songs. We do this all the time. She's like, we'll just be right back. She goes back, she gets the choir, and she looks back, and I go, no, she's gone. And she goes, oh. Well, let's just sing her a song anyway. And so the choir came in the room and they just started singing like this beautiful sort of operetta something or other. And she's standing there and this woman is clearly gone and I'm sitting there, and it was just like the most surreal sort of moment, and yet so kind of uplifting and so indescribable. It could have just, it's the timing of like moment to moment was just so incredible. And it was just great, and they sang their song, and she had music, and I was, we were all with her, and then we laid her down, to rest. So, yeah. The day before this moment, she dictated a poem to a nurse, and it goes, if the sun sets every night and rises every day, if the flowers die and die to bloom again, if the deepest wounds heal, if the greatest pains are forgotten, tell me, what does one fear in life, of course? Sometimes I will bloom, sometimes I will die.